Hi guys, and welcome to the Wigan Athletic vs Sunderland match preview. Now, I won't lie to you, this is probably the most one-sided match preview I'm going to do all season long. You know, a lot of my previews, I'll try and be as optimistic as possible. I'll try and dig out or try and sort of clinch onto any form of positives from our players or system or formation or anything, previous results, any kind of play or performance that I might be able to just drag into a preview and then predict that we're going to win a game. But for this one, I'm not going to lie to you, and some Wigan fans on social media have accused me of trying to use reverse psychology because I've made my thoughts known on this game coming up. I'm not using reverse psychology. I genuinely think there is a 0% chance we're going to get anything from this game. And unfortunately, that's just the way it is at the moment. This is the least confident I have been going into a game of football, particularly after the Burton game, 1-1. Of course, I have my own reasons as to why I didn't do a review for that game. I did leave a note on the community tab, and that's why I didn't do a review for that game. But touching on that game, you know, I think there was somewhat improvements in terms of our attacking play. We were very positive going forward. Yeah, we didn't maybe create enough chances, but we created a hell of a lot more than we had in previous weeks. But defensively, we are so bad, and we're saying it week in, week out. And I prefer the review, even if I did do one, it would have been deja vu in terms of talking about our defensive displays, because we cannot defend for shit. With the defenders we've got at the minute, you've got Doyle, who's exhausted, Bailey Wright all over the place, Sirkin, the young lad, he's absolutely gone as well. His legs are shot because we've overused him so much. Same again with Doyle, they're exhausted. We've got half of our back four that he uses, Alex Neil, they're exhausted, they can't move. You can tell that they're tired in their performances. They're absolutely all over the place, and the opposition sides are getting so many simple chances against us, and we're defending horrendously. You know, Trey Hume, who was doing okay, I think he picked up a knock. We're still using Winchester at right back, who is not a right back at all. He's a very decent central midfielder, and at right back, he's piss poor defensively. Getting forward, I thought he was actually really good the other night against Burton. I feel like some people used him as a bit of a scapegoat. Granted, the score was shocking, it was shit, it was unacceptable, but let's not lie just for sake of, you know, having a pop at the side. You know, defensively, he wasn't great, but going forward, he was probably one of the best players we had on the pitch, Winchester, in my opinion. Purely because there was times where, you know, some of the lads were getting their heads down, but Winchester is someone who he never ever lets his head drop. That's something I'll always say about Winchester. Even if he does have a poor game defensively at right back or wherever he's playing, he will never let his head go down. He will keep on going. And at times where we did kind of go within ourselves, and we did start to do the same old sort of sideways pass and backwards pass, he was driving at him, getting forward, single-handedly having pops at goal when everyone else seems shit scared too. So I will give that to Winchester. But back to the point, he isn't a right back. He's by no stretch a right back. And against a team like Wigan, who score goals for fun, very attacking. You know, recently they've been playing absolutely excellent football. I can't see anything going well in this game, and I'm going to it. So that should be really good. Should be really fun. But looking at Wigan's recent run of form, last time out they did beat Wycombe away from home, which can be a very difficult place to go. You know what Wycombe are like. Very sort of Sunday League football in terms of really rough, the time waste. Tin pot might be the word, but yeah, they make it really difficult to go to. And Wigan beaten by 3-1. Before that, they had that tight 1-1 draw, top of the table clash against Rotherham. They drew 1-1. Beat Crewe 2-0. Beat Charlton 2-1. Before that, they had a slightly tough spell, but not the kind of tough spell that we have. Because when we have tough spells, we don't win for 10 games. Wigan, they might lose a couple or they might draw a couple. Then they get back on the horse. And that's the thing with Wigan. You know, they got beat by Sheff Wednesday away from home. They lost in the FA Cup, but in the league, you know, they drew with Oxford. They drew with Cheltenham. Then before that, they're winning ways again. So what they might consider to be a bad run of form, it might be dropping a few points here and there over the course of 2 or 3 games. We might win, you know, with opening 10 games a season we were class, and then people, you know, because we started so well the season, people obviously they got confused as to why we were sacking like Lee Johnson when we were in third, because that great start stuck us in such a good position, and there were so many times where other teams just did take advantage of the fact that we started dropping points a lot earlier than when they thought. So we made a really good start, got that base of a decent points total, but then we're collapsing. We're slowly but surely collapsing under Lee Johnson, and it's just continuing to go. So I know I've seen some people again on social media saying, you know, like, where are all the Lee Johnson fans now? Where are they? Like, here. Right here, because we're still in the exact same boat as we were when Lee Johnson was here. It wasn't like Lee Johnson was doing brilliantly well and then we sacked him. He wasn't. He was absolutely running us into the ground and was just trying to steady the ship that he was driving into the ground at the minute. So we're still trying to clean up his mess, essentially. But yeah, so Wigan, they're a side that, even when they don't play particularly well, they always manage to grab points. You can tell by the team spirit they've got, the amount of late winners they've grabbed, or late equalisers they've grabbed throughout the season. They've got that core and that team spirit when, like I say, when they don't play particularly well, they still manage to get points. With us, when we don't play well, we absolutely crumble to bits. But again, I know I'm absolutely the fountain of positivity going into this game, but I will give you my preferred starting 11 and give it a little bit of an a little bit of an explanation before we go on to my predictions for the score. So I know that this will never ever happen in a million years, and we'll definitely go with either a 4-3-3 or a 4-4-2, somewhat of all that kind of variation. But this is what I would go with personally. I go with Hoffman in goal. Doyle, even though I know I said he's absolutely exhausted, if we're going to go 3 at the back, which I think we're going to need, Doyle is going to have to play there because no one else can. Doyle, Bart, who's coming back from injury, and Bailey Wright as well. It's a slow back 3. We don't have any quick centre backs really, particularly when Doyle isn't fit, and he isn't fit. So if they just, like I said in the preview to the Burton game, if you get your line intelligently sorted, and you've got Bart and Wright there who are experienced defenders, if you maybe sit a little bit deeper rather than that high line, because all the opposition have to do is pump balls over the top. When you've got such a high line and you've got such lack of pace throughout your defence, all they need to do is pump balls over the top, and they will absolutely batter us. With some of the players they've got, McLean, Humphreys, Keane, you've got plenty of players who can absolutely destroy us. And so we need to really watch that back line. So 3 I would go through at the back purely to give us a better chance going forward. Clark, he has to start. He's looked far and out. Our most dangerous winger. How the hell he didn't start against Burton is beyond me. Gooch on the right hand side purely because I think he actually looked half decent at times against Burton, so maybe keep him in there, get his confidence going a little bit more. Matete and Winchester in the middle. Evans is probably going to start because it is he must have performed some kind of treat for Alex Neil, because so I do apologise, because I absolutely despise that man. I'll say despise, that's harsh. I just don't think he's a good player whatsoever, and he is still getting into our starting 11. He's performing, at a 5 or 6 out of 10, game after game after game, sometimes 4 or 3 out of 10, and he's still starting week after week, and he is not the captain. How he is, I do not know. And I don't know what to say about Evans. I've already said everything I have to say in the past. Pritchard in there behind Defoe and Ross Stewart. Now again, I saw a lot of people critical of Jermaine Defoe as well. For me, I think that was unfair, because Defoe, throughout the game, he was making incredibly intelligent runs off the ball, got a couple of little half chances, and he wasn't getting the service as we expected to happen, because our service has been poor recently. But Defoe was making these really, really intelligent runs off the ball, and it was giving so much space to the likes of, Clark could come on later on, Clock had gone off. Sorry, come on, as Defoe went off. But when you had other players who were getting that space, Pritchard and Stewart around goal, and Matete was coming forward, there was so much space around that final third, because Defoe was so intelligently dragging players away, and some fans just didn't notice that. And Stewart, of course, I've stuck him up top, he got the goal. But that is my preferred starting 11, and it's never ever going to happen in a million years. It never will. It might end up using a similar squad to what he used against Burton, but maybe put Clark in there instead, because he was very, very good coming on. He's looked very good every time he's come on, so maybe that is what he's going to go with. I haven't watched a pre-match at the moment, but yeah, so we'll see. In terms of my score prediction, again, I do apologise, I haven't been too positive, but I'm going to go for a 4-1 Wigan win, which you might think that's ridiculous, you're going overboard, but I just think with our defence at the minute, they're going to make chances, and they take their chances, so I'm going to go with a 4-1 Wigan win, and I do believe that McLean will score. In terms of other scores, I'm not going to go through it, but you need an ex-Sunderland player to score, don't you? Because it always happens. Every single time it always happens. So I think McLean's going to get amongst the goals. For us, I think Stewart will score again, but it'll be a mere consolation, 4-1. But yeah, so I think, like I've said, I think Wigan and Rotherham are going up. I think that's long gone. As from now, it's a massive, massive battle for the playoffs, and that'll be my thoughts on the game anyway. Again, apologies. This is the first time I've ever predicted a Sunderland defeat in a previous game, because I usually just try and be at least that sort of glimmer of positivity across the sort of YouTube channels at times, even when things are looking shit. But no, I need to be realistic here. We're not winning. I am going down, so if you do see me, don't hesitate to say hi. It's always nice to see you guys. I'll probably get myself stupidly drunk just so I can't witness Max Power pissing all over my hopes and dreams. But yeah, if you have enjoyed, hit the like button for me. It'd be massively, massively appreciated. And subscribe to the channel if you're not already to become a fully fledged member of the Sarny Army. But for now, you take care and stay jammy.